Welcome to WVTC TV Network, capturing family moments in real time, bringing families closer together from the comforts of home. We are unleashing something different to the world. Start your subscription today for the low price of $4.99 per month or $55 annually. Go to www.wvtctvnetwork.com to sign up today. WVTC TV Network is streaming live on 8 different platforms. You can easily download the WVTC TV Network app on the Apple Store, Play Store, Roku, Fire TV, and more. Here at WVTC TV, we have access to movies that everyone can enjoy, including independent films, Sons of a Preacher and a Good Thing, Treasures of Life, the epic drama, The Passion of the Christ, and the box office hit Madagascar Escape to Africa. Remember, go to www.wvtctvnetwork.com and sign up today.
Good evening. I am Edward Jones IV. This is
Latanya Jones.
And this is the Family Phirst podcast, where we come together and talk about marriage, about relationships, about children, and sometimes about
a little bit of nothing.
All right. Last time we came, we were together. We talked about some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then we had Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
On Thursday. How was your Valentine's Day?
It was great.
It was great.
You did good.
I did good.
Mm-hmm.
I did good.
Mm-hmm.
And so that made us think about in talking about today on the podcast, talking about the 5 love languages.
Mm-hmm.
And because in order to have a productive relationship with your partner, you have to know how to love them.
Mm-hmm.
And how they receive love, because we've come to find out over the years that the way I receive love is different than how you receive love.
Yeah.
And so I have to love you the way you want to be loved and not the way I want to be loved.
Right.
And so that's a problem in a lot of our relationships, because some of us say, you know what, I did this and I did this and I did this and she ain't happy. Well, maybe that's not the way that she receives love.
Right.
And the lady same way. Well, I did this and I was that and I did that. And he, and maybe that's not the way that he receives love.
Right.
And so we have to learn how to love one another. What do you think about that?
I agree. I think oftentimes when we get into relationships, we get excited and it's nice, it's fresh, it's new, but we don't take the time to really think about, how does this person receive love? How does this person receive, how they feel happy about just being in that relationship? We don't necessarily think about it. And we think that it should come easy. Like, if I love you and I like you, it should just flow. It should just be easy. No, being in relationships is hard work.
Yes.
It's hard work.
It's hard work.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's hard work.
It's hard. It's not hard for her. But it might be hard, yeah.
But it is. It's hard work. I think if you are someone who desires, especially for those who are desiring to be married, and they really want a husband or really want a wife, this is something that you have to really think about when you are getting into that relationship. How does this person receive love? Yeah. How can I love them the way that they want to be loved?
Right. And some of us have these issues because we don't know how we want to be loved.
Right.
And so we don't understand how we receive love. So today we're going to talk about the five love languages, what they are, what it looks like, and maybe we'll talk about our primary one or two love languages. And so what you'll learn with the love languages, many of you have already heard of them. Let me say that all of us have a mixture of all five, depending upon the time, but then we all have our major house that we live in.
Right.
There's our go-to. We have a go-to love language. Some of us in the natural might be bilingual. We can speak multiple languages, but we were born speaking a certain language. And it's the same way with love languages. We might be able to receive and give love in several different ways, but then there's something that that's primary for us. And so let's talk about, I'll let you pick the first language, and then we'll piggyback off of that. Which one you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. Okay. Because words of affirmation is just always, receiving compliments. Some people need to be affirmed and complimented, and that just makes their life. That just gives them life. A lot of men need words of affirmation.
Absolutely.
Baby, women, just give your men words of affirmation instead of beating them down and telling them what they ain't or what they can't do.
Right.
What they did wrong. Give them some words of affirmation.
Right.
Baby, I appreciate you going to get a job. And if you don't have a job, I appreciate you looking for a job. Just those things. Baby, the way you took out that garbage.
Right.
Right. There needs to be some words of affirmation. We might call it stroking some egos. Some verbally affirmations. And with the women, it's the same way. Baby, you look good. You have you lost some weight? You sure that ain't a brand new outfit because it looks so good on you? And it's not flattery to be obnoxious or anything like that, but just to say, you smart as well as beautiful. You just, you're the whole package. And so that's what words of affirmation do. So
now I wanted to say too, especially talking about men, and as women, we have so much power that we don't realize in our relationships with our men to be their biggest cheerleader. Yeah. I mean, now oftentimes men may not know, or women may not know exactly what's going on with the man, because men, they're a little bit different in terms of how they share their day or express their emotions, their feelings. However, as a woman, you don't have to know everything. But if you are a good detective, if you're someone that is really observant, you pay attention. I'm one of those people that I pay attention, I observe. So if you're coming home and you're quiet, probably not saying too much, something's not right. I know. And I don't push you to figure out what it is, but I'm going to try to say something encouraging just to brighten your spirits, to uplift you, to make you feel good. Because a man, when he comes home, should not only feel comfortable in his home, but it should be a place where he can feel encouraged, uplifted, and validated in his own home. So those words of affirmation are so important. And even though that's not like your dominant love language, but it is something that you do need from time to time. And it's important. It's important. And I always like to throw in kids into the mix as well, because as I, give you those words of affirmation, and that's something that you get on a regular basis, kids need that too.
That's right. Yeah.
So they can function at, the maximum capacity that they can.
Yeah.
We have to affirm them. We have to tell them on a regular basis, hey, you know what? You're doing good. I'm so proud of you.
In this day and age, that is so important because they're not getting affirmation at school.
Absolutely.
They're not, other, kids, whether they're bullies or
especially our Black boys.
Yeah, our Black boys.
Yeah.
They're not being affirmed at school and those other relationships. If words of affirmation help self-esteem.
Yes, absolutely.
And that will help so much. And so it's good to see that our WVTC family is watching. Blessings to you. It's so important. Our little girls, our
my goodness,
daughters,
yes.
we have to give them, they should not hear you're pretty or you're smart from other places before they hear it at home.
Absolutely.
And the problem is a lot of our young girls, they don't get those words of affirmation. So when they finally do get it, they cling to it. He goes upside my head, but he told me I'm beautiful. Things of that nature. So words of affirmation are so important. They said a long time ago that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words and names will never hurt me. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
Names can hurt, words can hurt, but words can build up.
Absolutely.
And encourage. And so words of affirmation are so important. And it's just, we talk about, just simple things like, you can do it. You did a great job. One thing that you do for me, and a lot of preachers are like this on Sundays, that we just feel like we just let God down. I mean, God, are you sure that you called me? I just feel like I just bombed, and I'm just feeling so self-conscious, and I'm worried about did I fail and whatnot. But your words, that you preached. I learned something. And you don't say it and do it just to stroke ego, but it's the truth. And so those words of affirmation really help.
It's important.
Yeah. And so that's one of the love languages. Let's go to go along with words of affirmation. Let's talk about quality time.
Oh yes, quality time.
Quality time is a second love language where just being together, whether you're doing something, whether you're not doing anything at all, just being in the presence, being with one another. We are, it's so funny, us doing this podcast for us, it's quality time. We're doing what we'd be doing anyway, but this is something that we're doing together. This is quality time. In each other's presence. Sometimes our quality time is just being in the same room, not saying anything, but just knowing that the other person is near.
Right.
I don't have to have a conversation. We don't have to be deep and whatnot, but I know that you're there.
Right.
I know that you're present. And that's quality time for me. We were just talking about on Valentine's Day that the big snowstorm, we were going to go out and do this stuff with that weather, wasn't feeling good. And then the weather, we was like, you know what?
We gonna chill.
We're gonna chill.
We watch Marvel movies.
That's right. And we'll just we'll do it together.
Right.
And we're spending that time together.
Right.
And so for some people, that is life.
Yeah.
That is complete. That recharges their battery. It's you don't have to say nothing. I don't have to have any words of affirmation or anything like that. You just be near me.
That's right.
Just be in the same vicinity as me. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny because we've talked about this, how we have kids who are the same way.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily want anything, but I just want to sit next to you. I remember Jasmine as a baby. That is how she just was. She would just sit with you and watch the Word Network or ESPN, and she just sit with you. She didn't want anything. She didn't ask for anything. She just wanted to be in your presence and sit with you. And that was good enough for her. And that is one of her her love languages. And so, but it's awesome because that's something that I began to learn as years went by, that okay, this is a love language that we both share, and that this is how we express that. And so, okay, so we don't have to do anything big or major, but even if we are just sitting watching, you know, our movies or Kung Fu Flick or whatever, that okay, I enjoy that. You enjoy that. And we're good with that. Yeah.
It's so good. So, and one of the ways I express this, sometimes I say, come ride with me.
Yep.
And then you start going, but where are we going? It don't matter.
Right.
It don't matter where we're going. I could be going to put gas in the car.
Right.
You know, but just come get in the car. Just ride with me.
Right.
And so those are just different ways of just sharing that, you know what, I need to feel love. I need your presence, and I need a recharge, and your presence does that for me. You don't have to say nothing. You don't have to do nothing. Just be there with me.
Yeah. And you know, just thinking for those married couples who are busy, who have 10 billion things going on like us. You know, you got school, we got the kids, I mean, ministry, there's, I mean, organizations, there's so much that we're doing on a any given day. But that quality time, and again, understanding that it doesn't mean that you have to do this big grand gesture, a big vacation, a big outing, a big dinner. But again, it could be, look, we just riding together, running errands. Let's, you know, and taking that 15, 20, 30 minutes just to be in each other's presence, it does a world of good.
It does.
You know, just being able to sit, like when we sit and maybe we decide, you know what, we don't want to watch TV. So we're just going to sit and talk. And we'll do that. And we'll sit and talk all night long.
And I should be asleep.
And we should be asleep, but then we're up talking. You know, but that is just another way for us to get that time. And that is so important in relationships.
Especially when you're pulled in all those
different directions.
That's so important. So so we've got words of affirmation. We've got quality time. You want to do the next one? You want to think of another one?
Oh, gifts. The receiving of gifts.
You notice how she said, oh, the receiving gifts. Guess what her number one, or her number two gift, her number two love languages, receiving of gifts.
Yes.
Some people just love getting gifts.
Yes.
Regardless of what the gifts are. And I think that, I don't know if it's just in the female DNA that you're just taught from an early age that y'all supposed to get gifts. I don't know what it is, but usually, brothers, the sisters are going to have receiving of gifts as a love language. But the difference is what it means is what giving of gifts is that you have selected something particular for them. So it's more than the amount of what of the gift is. The gift could be a card. The gift could be a note. The gift could be something that comes from your heart to their, to their heart. but it lets them know that you were thinking of them.
Yes.
And that you were willing to spend your resources, and whether that resource is your time or your treasure, that you're willing to spend it on them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know this about you.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, and because I know this about you, uh, sometimes I play tricks on you.
Yeah.
So and we've been married for 22 years, and I think I've been playing tricks on you for 22 years.
Yeah, you have.
So I remember, what was it? It was
Was it my
your
birthday?
your first birthday, the first birthday when I acted like I had forgotten and I hadn't given you anything, and you was mad at me, and then I walk out with the perfume set.
Oh yeah.
That was
Yeah.
that then a couple, was that last year? Last year,
Couple of years.
a couple years ago for your birthday,
You surprised
I
me.
surprised you with a birthday party. I had her sorority sisters. So I worked it out in advance, and so brothers, I'm gonna give you an advice. This is what you do. You find her friends and you enlist them in your shenanigans. So for her birthday, I said I want to throw her a surprise birthday party, and but I need all of her friends to participate.
Mhm.
So what I did is I contacted them, her sorority sisters. I said, "Listen, I need you. I'm going to do a surprise party for Tanya, but uh, I don't want her to know. I need you guys to help with some of the planning. But I need you guys to make her think that I'm not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make her think that." And so they're like, well, how's she gonna? Well, she's gonna ask you. So they got asked her, can we take you out to lunch or something for your birthday, to dinner or something for your birthday, and she said, well, and you said, well, let me call my husband and make sure that's gonna be all right, because you're trying to think, okay, what my husband gonna do? And I said, oh, they want to take you, fine, let them go ahead and take you out. And you was hot. But somebody, because okay, somebody gonna spend some time. Somebody's gonna, and your birthday came, and they were gonna take you to the surprise place, and the sorority sister picked you up.
And the whole time I'm saying, my husband, I love him. He's not a planner. He don't plan stuff. He don't do stuff like that. Nah, he don't plan stuff. So I was so shocked.
They brought her into the event place, and they had her blindfolded, and she undid the blindfold. We had a ton of people, food, DJ, and she bawled and was so shocked. But to me, that was a giving of a gift.
Yeah.
A gift of a birthday party of all of her friends and sisters, and to be able to be a part of that. And that's what we're talking about. When we're talking about giving of gifts, it's more so in the thought, in the planning, that they know that you spent money on it too. You spent your resources and your time and effort on it.
Yeah, and what was so huge for me, because I love getting gifts, absolutely, but I love giving gifts as well. I'm a giver. Anybody who knows me, to be able to give you a gift just tickles me. It just makes me feel so good. So not only do I love to receive gifts, but I love to give gifts. And so when I'm giving a gift, I'm putting a thought, even if it is just a card. I'm putting a lot of thought into that. So to get that gift, that plan on my party, and I'm thinking, because my birthday is in November, his birthday is in October. And during his birthday month, he's actually planning my birthday.
Exactly.
So I'm thinking, like, wow, he put so much time and effort and energy into that. That just meant so much to me. And then you incorporated my sorors, my sisters, and that meant so much, because again, that's you taking the time. And so I think that is the huge thing when that is a love language for someone, the giving or the receiving of gifts. It's more so just taking that time to do thoughtful things for them. And gifts can be handmade, like I say, it could be a letter, it could be a card, it could be anything, but the trick or the key to it is what you're putting your thoughts behind
and that you've paid attention to your partner.
Exactly.
And you paying attention to the other person, and you pick up on your things, or you think a lot of times I will see stuff and I say, you know what, I think, my wife will like that. Just like for Valentine's Day, the necklace. I'm like, my wife will like that. And so you're always thinking about, the other person. So, and then with men and ladies, men love gifts too. Let me say this again. Men love gifts too. Go to the store, go to the mall, go online, and buy your man something nice.
Now, hold on. I just thought about this. I remember when we were first married. I think probably we weren't even married, I think, a year yet. But again, because I love receiving, but I also love giving gifts as well. And so I got so excited because, you like to dress, and he loves his suits, and we always tease him. He was born in a 3-piece suit with a Bible in his hand, right? So, I got so excited, and I said, "Oh, I know what I'm going to get him," just because I ran to the mall. I saw this place; they were selling suits, and I bought 2 suits, and I was so excited because I just thought, well, they look nice, and it seemed like something that he would wear. And so I will never forget the look on his face when I surprised him, because I tell you, I was so excited. I rushed to get home to give him these suits. And the smile, I mean, he tried and he understood.
She was doing the best she could.
He was coming, I was coming from a good place.
Yes.
But they were two polyester.
Right, there were 2 suits, they were twins, Polly and Esther. Like, no, baby. But it was a learning experience. So then I was able to teach you about suits and quality men's suit and wool and how to go about doing it. But the thing was, she was thinking about me.
Right.
And so it's something that we enjoy. We have that experience and we can talk about it. But once again, my husband would like that.
Yeah.
That would be a good color. Now, the colors were nice, everything, but it was just the quality.
Yeah. And it was the thought. It counted.
It was the thought. So don't say it's the thought that counts if the thought it ain't the thought that counts. But really, ladies, shop for your men.
Yeah.
Brothers, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. I'm gonna tell you sisters a secret. Brothers are heartbroken sometimes when we go all out for you for Valentine's Day and birthdays or anniversary or whatever. All these things are nice dinners or whatever, and in return we get a pair of socks or we get a keychain. Or we get
a tie.
A tie. I can buy my own ties. I can buy, my own socks.
Right.
Let's put as much
match the effort. Yeah. So you said match the effort.
Match the effort in the giving of gifts. And all the brothers said, Amen. Amen. I just helped some brothers on tonight. I just helped some. So and so that's something that's so very important. So we've got words of affirmation. We've got receiving of gifts. We've got quality time. What about physical touch?
Mm-hmm. I knew that you were going to say that.
Physical touch. Physical touch is what it says.
Physical touch.
You know, so sometimes you can be in each other's presence and not touch,
Mm-hmm.
and that's good. But sometimes you just need you just got to feel that person there, whether it's holding hands, whether it is kissing, whether it's sexual intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be some physical touch, and all of us are have that. And ladies, a lot of times that's high on a man's list,
Mm-hmm.
on the way on the way that we receive love, simply because men are sensual.
Mm-hmm.
Men are sensual. Sensual means our five senses. We go off of what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, and what we touch.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of that,
Mm-hmm.
physical touch is important. So when we see you, we want to touch you.
Mm-hmm.
We smell you, we want to touch you.
Mm-hmm.
We hear you, we want to touch you.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of our senses
Mm-hmm.
go together.
Yeah.
And so ladies, don't be, why you always try to touch me? Why don't you get away from me? You know what? That is a way that he is expressing his love language. And so, but ladies, by the same token, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you if that's your love language too.
Right.
And sometimes women feel like they're not supposed to be touchy-feely, or sometimes ladies are, or sometimes guys are uncomfortable with PDAs,
Mm-hmm.
public displays of affection.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone is strongly has that, then that's their love language,
Mm-hmm.
and deal with that. I touch you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a tap on the backside, a kiss, just to stroke your hair or whatever, holding hands. When I drive,
Mm-hmm.
I'll grab your hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I drive. So all of these are different ways
Mm-hmm.
of physical touch, and then you'll do it too. Sometimes I'll be sitting on the sofa, and you'll come and you'll snuggle under me. That's that to have
Right. That cuddle.
That cuddle.
Mm-hmm.
And so physical touch does not. Let me say this: physical touch does not always mean sex.
Right.
Okay. It's good when it does, but that's not what it always means.
Right.
Amen.
Right.
Like
right.
Married couples, right?
Right. Amen.
It's a good thing,
right.
but it doesn't always mean that.
Right.
Physical touch, just cuddling, and so we're at a point now that it's difficult to sleep if I haven't wrapped you up.
Right.
You saying something? No, what you mean?
Because when I wake up, you better be wrapped around. Exactly.
When I travel, when I travel, we both have problems sleeping.
Yeah.
Because of the physical touch and used
to cuddle. Yeah.
And so regardless of how comfortable the bed is, and that's why I'm always ready to get back home and whatnot. But that intimacy, right, Veta, that intimacy
mm-hmm.
is so important.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you could be with somebody that you don't want to touch.
Yeah.
We have to have some sit down,
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, we don't want to touch it in some way, shape, or form. But sometimes we have to be taught. We have to learn how to be affectionate
mm-hmm.
and the physical touch. We were talking earlier today about your upbringing
mm-hmm.
and how that's something that you had to relearn. Talk about that.
Yeah, I grew up in a home where and I had an awesome mom, worked very hard, but she wasn't an affectionate person.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's just, and I didn't know anything different. I really didn't notice it until we got married. And then I started to realize, like, wow, the kind of connecting my upbringing, and now here I am, and even noticing how I connect with my children, that because I didn't get that when I was younger, that I'm very affectionate with my kids. I'm giving them hugs all the time and kisses and hugs, because I want them to feel comfortable, and I want to express, my love for them. And so even in realizing that, okay, it's normal, and it is okay to give the hugs and the holding of the hands. And it's not anything that I need to feel like I need to hide or keep to myself or anything like that, or even that affection is only reserved for the bedroom. Because again, it all comes in that intimacy, especially in our relationship, that it actually starts before you get to the bedroom. So it's what you do outside of that that really builds it and makes it great.
And so, and let me say too, physical touch is also important. Let me say this, men, fathers, boys and girls, hug your sons. Men, hug your sons. Let them know that you love them. It's okay. That it's not awkward to hug your son. To let them know that you're there, you're present. Hug your daughters. Sometimes men do not know how to express physical touch if it's not sexual.
Right.
And so we have to learn how to express love in physical touch and then not be sexual. The funny thing is we do it and we don't realize it. Think about this. When we play sports, in sports, we tap each other all the time. That's physical touch. Good job. Tap on the butt, tap on, back shoulder, whatever, high five. That's physical touch. And so we have to learn how to, and the reason why some of our young men cannot be affectionate with young ladies, except it be sexual, because they haven't experienced.
They didn't get that
physical touch that wasn't sexual. They're not well balanced young men. And so if we hug our young men and we hug our daughters, they'll know that, I can have, affection, express love, and it's not sexual.
It's normal.
I'm telling you, it'll help you, keep your daughters from being pregnant, having your sons from getting girls pregnant. That sexual expression of intimacy or sexual expression of love is not the only way that physical touch, and if we learn that in a healthy way. So we've gotten through. Anything else you want to add on physical touch?
No, that's good.
Okay. So we've got words of affirmation. We've got quality time. We've got giving and receiving of gifts, and we have physical touch. And then lastly, we have acts of service. Acts of service. Acts of service are just things that you do for the other person to make their day better. I want to do this for you. An example of this, brothers, taking your wife's car, because she didn't put no gas in it. You take her car and go put gas in it and fill it up for her without her asking. That's an act of service.
Yeah.
Doing something for them to make their lives easier. You know what? Throw a load in the laundry.
Amen.
For her, things of that nature. Those are that is a love language that some people prefer. Do something for me that I could have done myself, but you saw that it would make my life easier by doing it. Sometimes, brothers, the fact that she cooks you dinner is an act of service. And she's saying, I am spending the time to fix you a meal. And so that when you come home from work or from whatever, you have a meal and you're hungry and you're fed and you're taken care of. She runs your bath for you or she washes your clothes. That can be an act of service. She could be saying, this is the way I express my love to you. Yeah. So talk to us a little bit about acts of service and how that, how people can feel loved by those acts of service.
Just like you were saying, doing those little things that, you can see that your partner wants, whether, hey, they work long nights, so I'm going to make sure that I fix their lunch. I'm going to make sure that when they come home, bath is ready and dinner is ready and that they can be comfortable. So it kind of connects a little bit with the receiving of gifts, being thoughtful. I'm paying attention and I'm being mindful of what it is that you might need. And being able to have that before you even ask. Just like you say, hey, I'm driving this car. I know she ain't gonna put gas in it. I'm gonna put gas in it. Or, looks like she needs oil change. I'm gonna get the oil change. So different things like that. Just being aware and observing and noticing what that other partner needs is important.
Yeah, that's so important with our acts of service. One of the acts of service that you did for me, which is funny. We've talked about this a little bit. That when I was working on my master's degree, I would spend long hours at the library, or I'd be up late trying to get papers done. So I would come home from work or the library and still have work to do at home. And you would tell the kids, just give daddy some time. That's an act of service. That's saying, you know what, just give daddy some space, let him do what he needs to do before you bum rush him. And so to me, that was huge. That to let me ease back into the house to finish what needed to get done, so I could be fully present with him. And so, when it was time, after I completed my work. So those are just examples of what we can do with one another. And right, Vetta, being intentional with one another. So those are the 5 love languages. And so like I said, all of us need all 5 in differing degrees at different times. But all of us have a way, have a home that we live in, that's the primary place that we receive love. So give us some ways, and it's kind of obvious, but some ways that how we can identify what our partner's love language is.
I was actually going to talk about that. I think that the first way, especially when you're in a new relationship, it's just taking the time to observe. What do you express? Because what you express is more than likely your love language.
That's good. What's she talking about?
So, and that is something that I've realized, because he real touchy feely. He's really touchy feely. And I learned early on.
Let's just be clear. Touchy, feeling, and holiness.
But you know, it was helpful because again, I am just by nature, like I'm a detective, I'm an observer, I watch, and I pay attention. And so that was one of the things I observed right away, that okay, physical touch, that is
always trying to hold your hand.
Yes, always trying to hold my hand. We're in the car, you'll grab my hand. You know, when we're walking, you'll grab my hand. All of that. So I picked up right away that physical touch was your love language. Now, so here's the part. Now, I've identified that that is your number one love language, but it's not mine.
Right.
And so sometimes that's difficult.
Yes.
If maybe, you know, we don't have the same number one love language. So then how do you kind of meet that person where they're at and then begin to love them how they need to be loved instead of loving them how you want to love them.
Exactly.
And so that part is a little hard because it is work. You know, like Vetta says, you have to be intentional about it. You have to really be intentional and you have to really want to do it on purpose. And so this is where, okay, even if you don't know how, God, show me how, because I don't know how. You know, in that time of prayer, Lord, show me how to, you know, love him the way that he needs to be loved. And so that means when he grabs my hand, I'm not grabbing it back.
Right.
When he grabs my hand, I'm going to let him hold my hand. When he asks for a hug, you know, I'm going to give him a hug. Or I might not even wait for him to ask me for a hug. I'm going to give him a hug and give him a kiss. So I'm going to give it to him before you ask, you know. And so those little things mean a whole lot, especially because that's your love language. So I think sometimes it's harder. It's hard when it's not your primary love language. It might not even be in your top 3. And you might find it difficult, like with acts of service. That might not be your thing, but it's your thing. That's what you do because you're going out and you're getting my tires rotated and you're getting my car clean and you're doing stuff for me around the house that I don't even have to do. And so again, that is me seeing that that's one of your love languages. So now I'm going to learn what is something that I can do to make things easier for you. You know, this is something that we used to say to each other. How can I bless you today?
That's exactly. And that's part of it. And the other thing of and you just said what I was going to say. First part is observing and being a detective, but the other part of it is just asking and having communication and talking. What do you like? What makes you happy? What makes you what gets your mojo going? What is it? Is, you know, do you like it better if we spend time together? No, what would you rather do? Go somewhere together, or would you rather me buy you something? You know, that's you know, that you could kind of figure out. Okay, is it quality time, or is it receiving gifts? What would you rather have? Would you rather me buy you something, or would you rather, you know? And so you ask those questions, and then you are, you know, able to communicate, and you can kind of feel, you know, find the hierarchy of these things. And so at the same time, knowing that you might do all of the above, but some you're going to do more than others because that's what that individual needs. And everything you do, you have to be intentional and thoughtful. If it's an act of service, be it a thoughtful act of service. Don't do an act of service and say, you know what, I took out the garbage. That's my act of service. Well, she wasn't going to take out the garbage. No, that's not her job.
No.
So make it be an act of service that's thoughtful, physical touch that is thoughtful, that if they are receiving at the right time in the right place, let it be whatever is the words of affirmation. Let them be heartfelt words, and not just vain flattery that you just blowing smoke, but let them be heartfelt words that they can feel the love in one another, and
have the right motive when you do it. The motive is, I just want to love you better. That's it. That's it. I just want to love you better. I want you to know, because I love you so much, I want you to feel my love. So I'm going to figure out how to love you, so that way you can receive it.
And that's good. And the key in that is, I got to figure out. So we make mistakes along the way, because we talked about the suit things, and we talked about the other stuff. We make mistakes along the way,
and that's okay.
But it's okay. But you're trying. But and as the other person sees, your mate sees that you're trying and you're learning, that's okay. And that's saying, well, they're trying. They're invested. They're invested in me to learn me and to do what I love and what I like. And so we say all the time in our relationships, it's about being the right mate and not finding the right mate. So that's what we're doing, and we're expressing our love language. We're trying to love you how you need to be loved, instead of trying to worry about how I need to be loved. Because if I love you the way you need to be loved, you're going to love me.
That's right.
The way that I need to be loved.
Awesome.
And I think, is that where we want to put a pin in it?
It's a good conversation.
It's a good conversation.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is where we're going to be at. We're going to put a pin in it for today.
Yes.
Until next Tuesday. Now, if you want to see us again before next Tuesday, why don't you come see us at Grace Missionary Baptist Church at 16650 Crawford Avenue in Markham, Illinois. We're Grace Missionary Baptist Church, the Grace Station, where we are transforming lives and building
the kingdom.
So come back and see us on next week. Once again, I am Edward Jones IV. This is
Latanya Jones.
And this is the Family First Podcast. See you on next week.
See you next week.
God bless you.
Go to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the WVTC Gospel Radio app today. You can also say, Alexa, play WVTC Radio Skills.
Would you like to play WVTC Radio Network?
Absolutely. Download it today.
Views made on the preceding program are not those of WVTC Radio, iNetworks Communications, or their financial supporters.
Winning victory through Christ, WVTC, Allsip Chicago, and iNetworks Communications Station.